Ramzi Boukhiam up against Callum Robson. This is a big heat. What have you made of Callum's run so far on the CT?
Yeah, he's been amazing. He kind of started off and it looked like everything was kind of falling into place and he was maybe getting a bit lucky, and then the more heats and the more waves you see him catch, you're like, that doesn't look like luck anymore. Yeah, he's been very impressive.
He'll have his hands full here though, Bugs. This guy is a surfer that, you know, that we often refer to as having that kind of power that could work very well on the CT. He just hasn't got there.
You can win an event and then come last in the next three, but if you can just put a good year together and get a quarterfinal and a win and a semi-final, that's exactly what you need.
Well, that's what Ramsey's after, taking a fall there, but the 28-year-old, 6'1", from Morocco.
Yeah, I mean, what a wonderful thing to represent your country and carry the flag at the Olympics.
And, you know, talking about his ability to close out events, he had a victory this year. He comes into this first Challenger Series event as the number 3 seed from his region. But this is Callum Robson, and this guy hasn't been making a lot of mistakes and has used all his scoring opportunities and banked big numbers, busting through the lip there. I think some of that confidence on show, just so rock solid, but this wave's going to give up on him.
Yeah, it was a good move, and look, he doesn't have a sponsor on his board, but, you know, we've spoken about, you know, how many boards are out there with the DHD, and then there's JS, and, you know, all the you know, the really big names. He's on a Sparrow board, and, gee, it's worked well. All his whole quip.
Here goes Ramsey now. He had a 5.67 on his first ride. Does love a right-hand point break. He's got a few that he's been able to perfect that backhand on down there in Morocco.
The kind of key when it is tricky like this, it's not just the biggest wall that's going to be the best wave. You need to identify, who's Callum? Like, sit on the beach, watch a million waves come through. When it's tricky, it's not all luck. There's definitely a lot of
I like that.
A lot of research to do before your heats to minimise that luck factor.
There we go. Ramsey, he's taken off at the moment. Nice little hit there. You can just see the way, you know, this guy has that point break style. He hangs back, he waits for his moment to pounce. He's well coiled before extending through these turns. Nice carve there. That's a nice little mix-up, that variation of the backhand approach. You know, and we've been talking about it a bit, Bugs. You know, on the backhand, if you get a wave that doesn't have a whole lot of wall, it's hard to really generate points while you're in transition with those moves.
You're looking for a certain kind of wave?
Yeah, definitely. You want a wave that has a steep pocket and you can go vertical up into that section. And it is like, yeah, this last turn here is super beautiful, but it's so hard on your backhand with a section like that. It's so hard to score points on a section like that, whereas if you've got a steep section and you can throw your nose vertical, throw your fins out the back, you can do that all day long and get a big score, whereas there's very few guys.
It's been a difficult event for the goofy footers, but they're starting to collect a few titles now. Ramsey's out there wanting to add his name to the mix, and he's out in front at this stage. Just not wasting any time out here. He's been busy, a lot busier than Callum. This is wave number 7 for him, and he's trying to get rid of a 5.5 to increase his lead. Certainly looking switched on as he finishes this one off. Likes the feel of that.
Yeah, it was a small wave, and he at one stage he was going, come on. He said, put his arms up going, come on, give me something.
As the ones to get scores on, but some of them just lose that size. Here goes Callum.
Whoa, Callum giving it everything, and we haven't seen that too often. Callum falling at the start of a ride, but really wanting to push hard on that section. He's got to overcome that. He's a cool customer, though. I mean, we'll see. We'll see how he fares. But here he goes, chasing down that number. There's a nice slice to get started, straight up into the bowl. It's a great combo. We'll see if the wave cooperates. Couple of bumps to deal with. Hangs onto the rebound. Really forced it into that section. And now just getting his speed back up. Rides high for a moment. Drops to the bowl. Hammers the pocket. This is looking like a decent ride for the Australian. From just down the road at Evans Head. Smashes through the pocket. He is so solid. And a healthy finish.
I think it tried to knock him off, and then he was like, no chance. And yeah, that beautiful first turn. big second one. And yeah, this is where I was talking about. There's so much rip coming back up into that wave, the opposite way, and then he outsmarted the wave and it doubled up for him again. And yeah, that was beautiful.
Well, I really love your breakdown of that initial section. It was like a boat had motored through that ride.
He was fins free on that. It was incredibly difficult to pull that off.
Yeah.
And still maintain down the line speed. Those first two turns, as you said, they were so slick.
So smooth.
And different. There was variety in them.
You know, when someone's in this kind of form, but you've got to give props to Sparrow too. He's put great boards under Callum's feet all year. As we see Ramsey now, and likely he'll need a score on this ride. Just very light-footed when he needs to be, and can just push so hard on the tail of his board too. But this wave, it's not doing much at the moment. It might reconnect to the bank here, and he's starting to load up for the big finish. Driving down the line, just a float there, and that's all he's going to get out of that ride. So waiting on the scores to come through, but expecting a solid number for Callum Robson. He caught that wave halfway down the point too. There it is, 7.5. We knew it was going to get him in front. Ramsey, well, you can see, is super disappointed because he kind of knows that maybe he didn't do enough work on that last ride, Bugs, to get the lead back.